Hi MTNZ, I'm back to chew the fat with Ian Reid, our new MTNZ patron. How are you, Ian?
I'm good, thank you, Emma. Great.
So, how are things going in Napier for you during lockdown?
Yeah, well, I'm here in my apartment on my own, in my own little bubble, but I've got family right next door. They live 20 metres away, so they do all my shopping. And other than me going out and getting some fresh air and walking and avoiding other people, I keep myself busy. I've got lots to do around here.
What are you doing? What are you doing that's creative?
Creative.
Yeah,
I'm putting some theatre memorabilia together. From the family involvement. So I'm getting photos and that sort of thing together. So yeah, that keeps me busy.
Now's probably a good time actually for doing things like archiving and photo albums and things, isn't it? While we've got time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that you would normally keep putting in the back burner because, life goes on, and I found that this has been really good. So, I've been getting in touch with Sonia Hi-Fi Operatic and getting her to send me photos that she might have, and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's helpful.
Fantastic. So, tell us, how did you get into music theatre?
When I met Dale, my late wife, her family was already involved with Napier Operatic Society, and I was approached in the street one day. I'd just finished my electrical apprenticeship with the local city council, and I was approached in the street by one of the guys from Operatic. Said, "We're looking for somebody to operate the lighting board for our production." This was 1967. Of Little Mary Sunshine. Would you be interested? And I said, well, I haven't done it before, but I'd be quite keen to learn and give a hand. So yeah, that was my first show. It was not at Operatic Rooms, it was at Napier Repertory's small theatre, because the Napier Operatic Society's own rooms were full of wool bales. At that time, there was a recession in the world, the wool market, so they were looking for places to store wool. So the Operatic Society let the local wool owners, or whatever you call them, processors, use their place for storage. And I believe they were getting 6 pence a bale a day. So they put this production on with, and not in conjunction with Napier Repertory. Napier Repertory hired their rooms to them. So yeah, that's how I became involved. And then it was just from there on, I was involved in productions every year.
Wow. So along the journey, I mean, I could sit here and probably hear story after story after story, but who were the kind of people that mentored or inspired you along your journey through to now?
Well, there was a lot, far too many to mention, but they're all from Napier Operatic Society. John Collier, the late John Collier, was one of the main stage managers in those days, and it was him that asked me to come along and give a hand. And I did electrical for a little while, and then joined the props team, and I really enjoyed that. That was a big team, and lots of fun. We had great laughs and good social times. So yeah, John was a mentor. And then, getting involved with some of those that directed shows for Napier Operatic, and just watched and listened and learned theatre etiquette, things like that. So it was really good. Yeah.
So if you could, and you've done this for your own grandchildren, if you could give the 16-year-old Ian a piece of advice, what would that be?
Doesn't matter how you want to be involved in theatre. I think if you start from the bottom, and I don't mean that derogatively, but if you can do some backstage work and work with the people who are key to the production, it gives you good grounding, because then when you go on stage, you've got an understanding of what's required, because you become a part of a big team, and you never want to be too proud just not to get involved and get your hands dirty, so to speak. And I think that gives kids a good grounding. Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, you're
My
lucky
own
being
grandchildren are involved. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say you're lucky too, because of course in Napier you've got such a strong youth team there, you know, and nurturing kids through from the young age. So, you know, you've got that strong foundation.
Yeah, we sure have. You know, the kids that are tutoring now and directing, choreographing, musical directors, they've all come through our theatre school, and so they can relate to the kids coming in. You know, it's so sad that some kids have to miss out on productions because they get huge numbers auditioning and try and get as many involved as they possibly can, but it's not always easy when we've got a small theatre that only seats 176 theatre style, and the staging, while we've got a fly floor and a little bit of depth, it's, you know, there's not enough room to accommodate 100 kids on stage.
No.
But, you know, if you use them and they come on in little cameo bits and pieces, you know, then it's good. But when we get to bigger productions, you know, then the opportunity's there to involve more of them.
Great. So, if you could sum up for the MTNZ members, what does it mean to you to be a part of MTNZ?
Oh, you know, it's become a big part of my life. I started attending, it was New Zealand Federation of Operatic Societies in those days. I started attending conferences around about 1979, 1980. And it was, you know, I'd been involved in operatic for a while, but this was the bigger thing, you know, the conferences, and, you know, there was 50 something people there from practically North Cape to the Bluff, and you were getting to meet other societies, and it was great socially as well. The networking, like any organisation like this, is amazing. And you know, I've made some lifelong friends through musical theatre. Really honoured to be following in the footsteps of some pretty awesome people who've been patron. When I first started going, David Beattie, Sir David Beattie, he was Governor General in New Zealand at that time, so, you know, that was pretty impressive. Prior to that, Sir Arthur Harper had been our patron. He had been involved in musical theatre, but he also organised 5 royal tours in New Zealand, so that's what he was honoured for. But he was very, very involved. And then the likes of Frank Terry and Nola Spear, who were foundation members of the then Federation, they followed on from those 2 Knights of the Realm, and then of course Dame Donna, and so I feel really honoured to be coming in behind these people who had become friends, really.
It's fantastic, and I mean, obviously, we're privileged to have you there still after years of being our president, and then a life member, and now our patron.
Very, very honoured, Emma. It's, you know, it was unbelievable when I was asked, and you know, I just thought, goodness me, you know, I could think of a good number of other people they could have asked, and I would have been pleased to see come in as patron. But, you know, I'm very honoured, and hopefully I do the position justice.
Oh, look, I'm sure you will. Hey, thanks so much, Ian, for giving me some of your time today. It's really got me thinking, you saying that you've been scrapbooking. I think it's time that we do some more recording of talking to people like you and getting these stories recorded while we can. So maybe these Chewing the Facts, I need to be keeping on catching up with some of our long-time members and hearing some fun and games. You know, we all know what conference is like, so let's share those stories. But have a good rest of your afternoon and all the best in lockdown. And I can't wait to see you again to be able to give you a big popper hug.
Thanks, Emma, and congratulations on your life membership from Drama New Zealand and going back in as president again. I'm absolutely thrilled for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
All right, bye.